There is no opposition in Nigeria today as we speak. I repeat, there is no opposition. There's no movement. There's no activism in Nigeria today as we speak, except for one. And that one, it is the IPOB movement. Just check it out. Since Tinubu became president, all the civil society organizations went to sleep because you are operating a system that would never work. Never was it designed to work. Since Tinubu became president, every other opposition were being crushed. The obedient movement have been crushed. Not totally, but it is going to receive a fatal blow very soon. Tinubu started with so much campaign against Peter Obi, a supposed Igbo man, and also there were some other people, in quotes, that were sponsored to speak against the obedient movement as an Igbo movement because it has an Igbo tag. They were able to go tribal, using tribal slurs and sentiments. In fact, the obedient movement was just one opposition that was seen as a threat to Tinubu's government. But the last Edo election also gave a crushing blow to PDP and the Labour Party. Everybody seems to be down. Politicians are re-strategizing. Everybody seems to be confused. But there is only one movement that is resilient, which is the IPOB movement. IPOB movement. I will not call the Boko Haram or the bandits as a movement. These guys are just clowns. They're just retarded people who wants to make money through kidnapping and using their religion as a disguise to perpetrate criminal activities. But the only movement that is still standing till today that cannot be crushed by any government whatsoever. They were not crushed. It was impossible for you to crush them since the days of Ojukwu or the Igbo landing. They were not being crushed. It is not now that will happen. You can see now, when we have been talking about Nigeria as an unworkable country because of the kind of leaders that we have, the elements of people that have rose to power through a certain system, through a certain structure, and they are willing to kill themselves to keep that structure. They are willing to make sure that they kill people. They can level half of Nigeria in order to keep that structure. Whenever that structure is being threatened by anybody, I believe P2B once strengthened that structure. I said it before the election, 23 presidential election, that our vote is insignificant to who decides who becomes the president of the country. I have been saying it a long time ago. The structure was threatened by the manifesto of P2B and some of the things that he had said. So they had to come together and make sure that he doesn't get to that place. Look at what Dangote has started doing of lately. One of the richest men in Africa, richest in Nigeria, recognized in the world, rich man, talking anyhow. You know that there's fire on the mountain. He's advising the federal government to remove subsidy. He said he never knew that the cabal in the oil sector is more deadlier, more organized, more stronger than the cabal in the drug sector. The cabal, he fears the cabal in the oil sector more than the cabal in the drug sector. If I call it sector, that is how Nigeria is being structured. No position comes close to what the IPOB has been doing of late. You can see, despite the killings, despite the subjugations, despite the planned work to from inside these IPOB guys to rubbish the movement, they are still standing strong, to the extent that every Igbo man now identifies to be an IPOB. We said that Igbos will not be part of any protests, anything called Nigerian protest or activism against Tinubu, that we support Tinubu till thy kingdom come. Without the Igbos, some of these protests will not have a kind of gravity that it needs to have. If the Igbos back down on any reform in Nigeria, the reform is not going to have head. The Igbos have decided not to join people that are destined for slavery, that are destined to destroy themselves, not to join them in any protest or anything standing up against Tinubu's government. But they are all focused on the country that will benefit everyone. It's not only in Biafra. It is also liberating other people from this demonic system. Tinubu is thinking that with his politics, or what he's going to do, he's going to keep the Fulani out of power. He's going to clip their wings. He doesn't know that that is far from reality. He just has 8 years to spend. After 8 years, somebody comes in and re-strategize, reorganize, and put everything back to status quo. Because I don't know the plans he has, but I believe of a sure, that Tinubu does not believe in one Nigeria. I believe so. He wants to become president, utilize the resources to develop his region and equip his people for a possible exit out of the country. All these politicians know that one Nigeria is not real. It's just bluff. I repeat it and say always that Awolowo said, it is a mere geographic expression. It's an expression. It does not hold water. That's why no opposition can stand the test of time under a regime that is lawless, a regime that has no regard for justice. Everybody is now beating into line. Nobody has the guts to come out and do one or two things. Even Showore coming out to say fearless in October, this and that, this and that. I believe he's playing a script. I believe he's not a threat to the government, because if he were to be a threat to the government, they will have contained him when he arrived in Nigeria. But they know that he's not a threat to the government. He might be a tool used by the government to undermine every other opposition, especially this Peter Obi of a guy. If we make Showore a hero, his heroism can outshine that of Peter Obi. Peter Obi can be made to, we can paint Peter Obi as somebody who cannot solve Nigeria's problems, cannot rescue Nigeria. You can use tribal laws, you can look at his past, you can use all statements, bombard the media every day with something about Peter Obi, say evil about him, so the minds of people will change towards him. Then let's have a Showore, bring him into board and try and give him some kind of heroism. Because what Showore is doing looks like that of an hero. Somebody that, from an intel, according to Sahara reporters, he was going to be arrested when he steps foot. What he has done, if somebody else, probably an Igbo man, tried that, he dare not get into the country, because he will be arrested and put behind bars and be suspended, like what is being done to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Prosecute, you can't find him guilty. Court say release, you no release, nothing. You are violating his rights. Nobody is doing anything. You are persecuting him, not prosecuting him. An Igbo man. You are giving people the impression when you are involved in injustice. Your intentions might be right, but when you are involved in injustice and is open for all to see, you give you the impression that if it were to be an Igbo man, you have been behind bars. But me, I believe, you want to make a hero out of him so that you can undermine the personality of a Peter Obi who has shocked the cabals that be, the cabals that own Nigeria, who has shocked them to their bone marrows. So in the next election, if we can undermine Peter Obi and make Showore look like a hero, you can reduce the support. So no other opposition stands except for the IPOB. We are resilient, we are people, we are willing to give up our lives for what we believe in. We are not street. You see, I said it before, when Nnamdi Kanu is released, or when there's a Biafra declaration, which eventually it comes to reality, you will know the people that are supporting this Biafran whatever. They are not talking. People that are talking, they are irrelevant. In quote, like they are not. If you rate the Biafran struggle by those that you see that are openly talking, openly canvassing, and doing broadcast, if you rate the Biafra movement by just these people, you have not seen anybody. You know that people who support the Biafran agitation, they are much more than you think. Those that are said that we are in DOS, we are in this, that, they are people that they cannot show their faces. So it is not, we are not here for child's play. Nobody is coming here to play. Nobody is coming here to play. The only movement that is still alive in Nigeria today, where is the Yoruba nation? Professor Akintoye was saying the other time and everything. Yorubas went to a Twitter space and were blasting him, saying all sort of things against him, because they knew that at this point in time, there's no need for that. We have our brother in power, so nobody should oppose him. That is the ideology. That is the thing. That is the deal. Nobody should oppose it because our brother is in power. Northern Elders Forum and those that are threatening that Tinubu is going to be a one-term president, how far? Where are you people? Where are they? They have been put into shape. I said it before. All these people, these people are talking. Now you can see Nnamdi Kanu in the court, coming out expressing himself. The Northern people are watching. When you look at these videos that has to do with Nnamdi Kanu talking in the court, from some of these Biafra channels, you see that on a normal day they don't have much views, but when Nnamdi Kanu comes out to speak, you see the views bogus, because there are people that are interested to hear what this guy is saying. They're not interested in Biafra or whatever activity they are involved in, but they are interested whether he will be released or not. So a number of Nigerians will be following Nnamdi Kanu's court case, because they are surprised that Buhari did not even give him opportunity to even talk one or two, but Tinubu's government has given him an opportunity to express himself, which becomes, that is my opinion, which becomes a threat to the North. If you give this guy this kind of freedom and he's looking fresh, in quote, this man might have, they are even afraid of what Tinubu may do next. Tinubu has carried them handicap. This is not go handicap. Anybody score. That's what Tinubu has carried the North. So the North at this point in time have been subdued. They have no other opportunity than to wait for 8 years. Those that are calling on Ipob to have an alliance with an Atiku, my brother, why do you people want to be wasting time? Days are going, years, people are leaving us behind. Why don't we get it right now? Put the system in check, get it right now, and start moving at a pace. Because the hatred for each other, the disdain for each other, the competition amongst everybody now has heightened. Bigot 3 has gotten to another level. Realizing our ethnic differences and wanting to achieve above every other person has gotten to another unprecedented level. Why do you think we can move on with all this awareness? Tinubu got into power, Yoruba everywhere. So other people, other tribes don't they have the opportunity? Don't they have the capacity? Are they not capable of being in those positions? Why is it that the occurrence is just Yoruba? Because there's a Yoruba president. Everybody, Buhari got there, he bastardized the whole thing. Fulani Hausa, just all over his government. Is this the country when, okay, if an Igbo person gets there, and does the Igbo thing, who will start complaining? Although if an Igbo person were to be there, if P2B were to be there, and he does what Buhari does, both Wale Soyinka, both all those pastors that refuse to speak, to do anything, those people that kept quiet, those civil society organizations, those CSOs, those activists that refuse to do anything, they will start bombarding the newspaper, both locally and internationally, with all sort of write-ups, all sorts of threats of protest. Even the National Assembly will have passed their second reading, getting to their third reading to impeach a P2B, an Igbo man. You see, that is the reality. If P2B were to follow the shoes of this our president, it would have been a different game. Yoruba nation would have been alive. Threats to even divide from Nigeria would have increased vehemently just to remove him from power. So is this a country that you want to build unity with? Is this a country that you are thinking that we can move forward? You know, it's not possible for Nigeria to be saying that we are one big, and no, it is not possible. Look at what the president's wife did the other time. Unity fabric, and I get to see the reaction Nigerians have. Day-to-day activity of every Nigerian, it is just hating on each other. Why don't we find a way to permanently put this in check? A P2B does not really believe in Biafra, but because it's an Igbo, that hatred is there. Hatred is there. Hatred is there. And because he's an Igbo that is capable, that has competence, that wants the best for the country, nobody likes him. I've said it in my previous broadcast that it is Igbos that really want one Nigeria. Every other tribe is trying to take advantage of every other thing that they don't have to develop their region. The Northerners are mostly people that own oil wells. Most of them. Where's the oil in the north? But they are cattle, they are ranching, they are everything. They want the federal government to give them places, give them land, allow grazing routes, they move anywhere. Whether they are paying taxes to the federal government, only God knows. They have a personal business, and the government, they want government to fund their business. But that belongs to the South, is the government comes to take charge of it, destroy the communities. The people that are owning oil wells in those regions are people that are outside of those places or those communities, the north. If this were happening in the north, do you think that we'll be sitting down here today to talk about this? Don't you think that Nigeria would have been divided a long time ago? Unlike Lagos, that the federal resources they used federal resources to build Lagos. The first settlers built Lagos. Lagos was a colony, so it should attract development. The plans were there. And again, the oil money in the Delta region was used to build Lagos and everything. Look at the infrastructure we have in Lagos. You don't see it in Calabar or in Enugu or in Port Harcourt. Everybody is just wanting to take advantage of what is in the southern part of the country to build their region. But an Igbo man is almost going everywhere, making sure that he contributes to the society he finds himself and also contributes to the development of the economy of that place. The competition he brings into a community will help everybody sit up, and people are now moving towards prosperity. An Igbo man pays for his shop, pays for his house, pays his taxes, and it's always law-abiding. Is a person who wants to express himself freely. Although threatened by his nature of wanting to succeed, people want to put a limit on him, and he's everywhere. Would you say that for every other region or every other tribe? You won't say that. Because these people, they don't want one Nigeria. They always want to stay in their region and develop their region against somebody who leaves his region, go and join in the development of other places, which is his nature. That is why we are calling on everybody at this point in time. Go back to your communities. Take a step and see how you can develop your communities. Invest in the human factor in your communities. We have an Ajaokuta still. Don't we have engineers that we have been having universities up and down? Food, Jonathan had to build the universities, I don't know. We have had universities since the time of, I don't know, independence or universities, but we cannot turn out graduates that can handle our steel. Every time Russia. At the end of the day, use that to steal money. Can't we identify key sectors? When you go to Aba, identify skill sets that is needed to develop that place. Skills that are needed to develop that place. And you build somehow like a technical school, and students are being enrolled to learn that skill and they are engaged, it brings development of the Igbo child. They are educated. That's education. Learning a skill is education. Do you think going to school and sitting down and be writing up and down, all those ones call it? Learning a skill is education. Developing our region is the next port of call. It is okay. Wherever you go, they don't want you, especially around this area. Let's call back home and make sure that home is safe. Home is a place that we can relocate back to, retire back to, and enjoy all the good things. Forget the federal government now. Let them start playing their politics. Like I said, any party that is evil will not last. Evil has never overcome good. It is only good that overcomes evil. Even the devil knows it. People like Abacha and Babangida and the rest, they never ended well. So if you think somebody wants to be doing evil against Chineke, someone that God has designed for greatness, at the end of the day, it is that person with all the things that he or she has that will not end well.